glad you guys joined. We're gonna we have a special guest today, and here goes my assistant Renee.
Hey guys.
What I wanted to do today was I wanted to have someone come in and be able to walk us through actually doing our makeup. And there she goes. So I just want to introduce Keisha really, really quick. And she's a wife, she's a mother, she's a teacher. Happy Teacher Appreciation.
Thank you.
And she has several kids, and she works. She's a psalmist. She's beautiful voice. But one of the things I always love is that right, I love her makeup and that she works, she has children, she runs her household, but yet she still manages to be able to present herself really, really well. And so her sense of fashion, I love it. I love her confidence, and she's a beautiful person inside and out. And so I just want to welcome Mrs. Keisha Washington.
Thank you.
She's going to walk us through doing our makeup for every day and looking fabulous while we hold the world down, right?
Yeah, you asked me to do this, and several people have asked me to do this, but I'm always so nervous. So because I'm not, let's make it clear, I am not a makeup artist.
But that's exactly why I think you're perfect to do it, because none of us are. That's on, that are watching today. And so you'll give us what you do to make yourself look so professionally done.
All right. So because I know there's a limited amount of time on here, I'm going to do a basic, like every day going out to work or something really, really simple. First thing that we're going to do, I already came in with my face clean. Please make sure that your faces are clean. You don't want like the old dust and crud and eye boogers and all that stuff in your face. And you also want to get rid of any dead skin that's on your face that is not visible to the naked eye. So wash your face, then moisturize it. There are different primers for different skin types. I have normal skin. I have normal combination. So I'm oily here. Not very much, but a little bit. And the rest of my skin is pretty much normal. So I use a silicone-based primer. Primers are basically what helps your makeup to stick. If you look at an orange naturally has pores on the skin. So if you were to take foundation and put it on top of the orange, you would see all of the little holes that are in the orange. But if you take primer and put it on top of the skin of the orange and then put foundation, you'll see that it kind of smooths it out. So that's the purpose of primer. The next thing I do is I color correct, because down here I have hyperpigmentation, which makes it a little darker than the rest of my face. And so when I take pictures, or if most times when you take pictures, or sometimes if you're looking in a mirror with a certain light, it'll look like I have a 5 o'clock shadow if I don't color correct. So because we're brown skin and I have brown, like a little darker here, like a shadow, I'll use a red color corrector and I'll just apply it just in certain areas, not a whole lot, but just to make sure my skin tone is more even with the rest of my face. Sometimes people put them here if they have dark circles. I don't normally do that because I conceal. I also take, this is not a beauty blender, it's a beauty blender type. This is from a Black-owned brand called Beauty Bakery, and it's called an egg. So it's already damp, and I really just push it in to my skin. After I do that, I normally set my color corrector in order for it not to mix in with my foundation. So I use a translucent powder. This is actually my first time using this one. I've heard a lot of good reviews. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. Yeah. I normally use Laura Mercier in Deep, but today I decided, if other people are watching, they may not want to spend $38 on a finishing product. So this is about $7 to $8 from the drugstore. So I'll just push this into my skin, and you see how it's kind of vanishing a little bit, but it's also covering up that red. So just a little bit. The next thing I do is go ahead and put my foundation on. This is another Black-owned brand. This is Juvias Place, Burkina 310.
Good.
I got this from Ulta. Ulta sells this, or you can go to juviasplace.com for this. And it's a medium to full coverage foundation. When you use foundation, especially liquid foundations, there are 2 application methods that you can use. You can use a brush, you can use a coverage look. A beauty blender gives you more of the airbrush natural finish if that's what you're going for. So I'm not going to put a lot on, but I just want to basically cover my face. I'm gonna try to do this as fast as possible.
Yes. Juvia's Place, for those of you who are familiar, if you go to they are available at Ulta, but they're having a 50% off sale now for Mother's Day. So if you go to the site, you're gonna get it for 50% off, yeah, on everything. Ooh. And Juvia's Place, I believe, is Black owned as well, right, Keisha?
Yes, yes, it is. So when you're applying your foundation, you don't want it to look like a mask. So make sure that you really like try to blend it into your hairline. And some people go really far down my neck. I don't. Down the neck, I don't. I just go buff it into slightly underneath my jawline and my chin, into the ear, right? Just so that you don't have like a cake face. You don't want to look like that. If you wanted to say you use the brush and you're like, oh, this looks like too much foundation, you can then take your beauty blender and just dab it into your face. Your beauty blender is wet, so what it does is it actually soaks up a little bit of the product. So you see, but not too much. Also, be careful of your skin type when you're applying foundation or when you're choosing foundation. So this is like a matte finish because I told you I have combination skin. If you have dry skin, do not buy a matte finish because you will look like you're that kind of ready. And we're not ready to see you go.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. And then if you have oily skin, you don't want to use a dewy foundation or a liquid foundation is fine, a liquid matte, but you don't want to use a dewy foundation or a cream-based foundation because then you look like you're slippery sliding and you know, you've used Blue Magic for foundation. Yeah. So you have to be careful. So my foundation is applied. Some people at this point may apply a little setting spray. I don't. But there are several different techniques. You kind of find out what works for you. After I apply my foundation, my next step is to conceal just to brighten this area because now it looks like everything is one color. So I just put a little bit under my eye just to brighten. This is another Juvia's Place Delight. This is where the light naturally hits your face. You can contour at this point too, but for the sake of everyday wear, I'm not going to contour. You can also leave your concealer on for a few minutes in order to let it set to be a more full coverage. But because, like I said, we're doing like a natural everyday makeup wear, we could just let it'll do what it does. You don't want to blend it out too much because then it'll vanish. But go up into your eye, on the side of your eye. You also don't want to go too far down or too far up. Just right where your eye is, and then if you get some too far up, go back with your beauty blender that you use for your foundation and then blend it right on in.
With the foundations, there are different types of foundation you can use. My all-time favorite is NARS. I used to use, this gives me the most natural look. And so my makeup bag, and I'm sure yours as well, Keisha, from what you were saying, I have a mixture of high-end and beauty supply store products. Some of them work really well. For my concealer, I use Pro Conceal. And the one that I use is, I use this as my highlighter also here. And along here is the Pro Conceal. And I think this is like $3 or $4 at the beauty supply store. Yep. And the shade is Fawn. There's other ones that you, yeah, I love it. And it's one of my go-tos also. I don't do makeup a lot. That's not my passion, but I do it for when I have to for myself, or if I have like a bridal party or something where I'll be able to do hair and makeup. And so I find that this, for women of color, that's normally my go-to. I forgot the other ones. I have my kit at the salon with a couple of others, but once again, this is not, you're not spending much for this. The NARS I did spend for this is, oh boy, I think it's an ounce, and this was like $60.
What you saw me doing when I was finished with the concealer and I was patting, I took a little bit of the setting powder. You look up and apply. This keeps your concealer from creasing because it is oil, and well, not oil, but since it's like a cream, when you blink or when you move or you do certain things, your natural creases of your eyes, if you don't set the liquid in place, they'll shift all over the place, and then you'll have a lot of extra lines under your wall. They're the same lines that are normally there, but they're more pronounced. Yeah. So your setting powder, you do want to, like, you know, slightly dab it in there just to press it into place, and it'll pretty much keep your foundation, your concealer in place. I didn't contour. So because I didn't contour, I'll take the tip, I'll put some more powder on it, and I'll do what is called a reverse contour and just bring it down the side where my contour would normally be. So your contour is like the shadows of your face, underneath your cheekbones, around the perimeter of your face, kind of slightly underneath your jawline, down the bridge of your nose. Down the sides of your nose. The bridge of your nose is your highlight area. Then you'll slightly brush it. You'll just dust it off.
Yeah.
Earlier, I like fan brushes because I don't know if I have a reason. I just think they're cute.
Yeah. But it does help, so you don't have too much product caked on.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't contour, but I'm also going to bring some dimension back to my face by using a bronzer. I swear by this bronzer. I've tried Too Faced bronzer. That's a different brand, but it's a high-end brand, but I don't really care for it. But Bobbi Brown, I haven't found the drugstore bronzer yet. And they think that people think that brown girls don't bronze. We do.
Yep.
We do. And all it does is just bring some color back into your face. So like I said, I talked about the perimeter. That's where I'm going to apply the bronzer, right in the perimeter. And if you see closely, you can see I didn't blend it well, right? So I got to go back and fix that. But you see where I put the bronzer. So bronzer actually does work. Like makeup standards have changed over time. Yep. And so like 2020's makeup is different from 2010's, right? And think about our eyebrows and how our eyebrow shape has changed over the course of years.
Yeah. And thick eyebrows are in now. Woo!
They really are. Like the thin or the eyebrows that go straight across. Like, no, don't do that.
No.
The tattooed eyebrows, don't do that. Microblading is not tattooing.
Yeah, exactly.
Microblading for 2020 is approved. Tattooing is not approved.
Yeah. Right. And for those who don't know what the microblading is, it's actually doing micro blades that look like hair strands, as opposed to having one like big clunk of dark tattoo. Mm-hmm. So the microblading is to simulate what looks like actual hair strands, which is why, when you find somebody that's really dope, it's good. It looks natural.
So I'm going to add some color back to my face. I did the bronzing. I did the concealer. I'm just going to add a little bit of blush. Blush, you can wear whatever color blush you want to. It's a matter of how much you use. So if you use a bright pink blush, don't use a lot because it goes a long way. But brown girls look beautiful in bright pink. It's just about the application. Brown girls have been so scared, even myself, for years, about using a colored blush because we're like, that's not for black people. Yeah. It really is though. And it looks beautiful on especially rich brown, dark brown skin. Oh, it's beautiful. The oranges, the corals. We can rock any color we want to.
That's right. That's right.
Next is highlighting. You can highlight or you don't have to. I'm a highlight queen. I love a little highlight. So this is the Fenty highlight in cinnamon. And it's a stick highlight, and I'm just going to add a tiny... Can y'all see this?
Uh-huh. Now, when Keisha's saying highlight, you would imagine where the areas of your face that the light is going to hit first and reflect. So that's what we're talking about highlighting, or even contouring. The areas of your face that would kind of produce shadowing, or where you would do your contouring, as Keisha was mentioning earlier.
Last step, after you mix all of your layers of gorgeousness, set it in place with some setting spray. Make sure you get one with a good mister too, because sometimes the mister makes a lot of difference. Because if it comes out in like big raindrops, it's going to basically destroy what you just did.
Yeah.
So having a mist like that is what you want. And if you feel like your face is a little too wet, you're like, oh, I gotta get rid of it. Use a powder puff, or I just recommend using a powder puff. So I'm just gonna push it in with the puff because this is what I'm used to doing. And it doesn't, if you look, it doesn't take anything off. It just really pushes it in.
What are you using? What did you just use?
That was Smashbox Primer Water. That's only because that's the one I found sitting on my.
Because you fancy. Because she's fancy. Mm-hmm.
I have no. There's another one. Milani. Milani has a good setting spray as well. That's a drugstore brand. I normally do my eyebrows first. I also use a pomade, but because this is my rush, we gotta hurry up and go. I'm gonna use the eyebrow pencil, Brow Wiz. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. NYX has a good one too, but I don't have any more of it. You have your NYX one?
No, I have the Brow Contour Pro. I got this from Ulta, and I love this. Even though this was about, I think this was like $30 or 20 something dollars. You have everything in it. My eyebrows are naturally thick.
Oh,
but yeah. You said what?
That's cute.
I love this, and it's like a pen. It's like a pen with the, you know how the different inks.
Important. So when you saw, as Gerdie was talking, I was doing this right eyebrow, and I don't know why, but it's a habit. I always start with my right brow first. I don't know. It's just a habit.
Me too.
I think that's where I'm most comfortable.
You're dominant. So that's your dominant hand, probably. Oh, you're right-handed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw me pretty much just trace underneath my eyebrow and then fill it in short strokes. Don't draw straight. It'll be too boxy and it'll look crazy. It'll look like you had a Sharpie or you just don't want to do that. So I try to hold my eyebrow up so I can see where to actually draw, and short strokes, feathery strokes, just to fill it in. And right there, I already have a tail because it was my eyebrows are thin on the ends. Even though they're still there, they're thin on the ends. Then I go up and I kind of like draw a little tail on the end. You never want to start your eyebrows at the very beginning because it's the thinnest there. So you want to make it look natural. In order to do that, you can start it like right. That's where you want to start the pencil to make those draw fill in and give your eyebrows the rest of that shape.
And you see how Keisha's doing it in strokes. You want to do it in strokes to simulate hair strands.
Mm-hmm. And your eyebrows are sisters. Sometimes they're not twins, but you never want them to be third cousins twice removed.
You don't want them to be conjoined twins either.
Right. No, like get rid of this. Don't push them together. No. If your eyebrows don't start close together, don't make them start close together.
That's right.
After I do my brows, if I'm doing natural, I don't put anything on I don't do any shadow. I don't do any of that. The most I may do, if I feel like it, is I may take that same highlighter and I may push it under my brows because they're finished now, right? Just to give it a little sheen, but nothing major. If I'm doing something like I said, we got to hurry up and get out the door. I don't have any lashes. Like we did the eyelash curl, right?
Lashes were curled
on each lash. This, if you have short lashes or very thin lashes or scarce lashes, this primer, they have primer for everything. They have lash primer. This is L'Oreal Voluminious Lash Primer. I swear by this because it makes my eyelashes look a little thicker than they actually are. And I'm not going anywhere. So what I'll do is I'll put eyelash primer on this eye and not on this eye, and use the same mascara and show you the difference.
Now I have, I just actually tried it out. For those of you who don't know, I retail Pure Cosmetics at the salon, and I really just focus on their, they have like an all natural lip line. One of the main things is a lip line, as a lip gloss that it has a mirror and a light. But Pure Cosmetics, the fact that it has a mirror and the light on it, and it's all natural. As they do have is they came out with the mascara set with primer. You do it's actual lash fibers, and then you seal it again. It's really cool.
Oh, I need that. So when you put your liner on, you can go a little, it depends on the shape of your lips, how full your lips are, how you want it to look. Don't overline where you completely see where your lip actually starts and your skin ends at the top. Do it right where they meet. Cause I have small lips. I also moisturize my lips before we started. Because the worst thing you could do is have a beautiful face and flaky lips. For you to just keep that smooth lip look, use a sugar exfoliant. Or sometimes you can use your toothbrush, not too hard though. You can use your toothbrush and just as you brush your teeth, just brush your lips a little bit. But if you want to, you can use a little bit of sugar and some olive oil, mix it together, or sugar and Vaseline, or you can buy the actual sugar scrub and just scrub your lips just to get that dead skin off about maybe twice a week. Some people have naturally dry lips because of vitamin deficiencies and things they can't help. And so they have to do that more often. Vaseline, it is not a moisturizer. Vaseline, petroleum jelly just sits on the skin. It does not absorb into the skin. So you want to use like vitamin E, coconut oil absorbs, things like that, and put on your lips or even your skin, period. But Vaseline just sits on top. It does not absorb into the skin.
This one, the Pure Cosmetics, it's a system. So you use this first, and it's the lengthening mascara. You use this and you put it on your lashes first. You let it kind of air dry, not completely. You still need it to be a little bit moist. So you like maybe 5-6 seconds. And then this is the lash lengthening fibers. So it's actual fibers that when you run it through, it sticks to this. But the fibers, because they're longer, it actually elongates your lashes. Let that sit a little bit so it can set, and this over top. And so this is my 1-2 punch. This is like when I go in full glam, you know, if I have an event or if it's at night, going out or what have you. But really, really good.
So this eye has the primer on it. This eye does not. So like I said, my last step, I have to have some something in my waterline to just bring my eyes out a little more, especially if I don't have any eyeshadow on. And so this is the Milani Stay Put waterproof eyeliner, because like Gerdie said, teary eyes, it's an issue. Yeah. So when I put on eyeliner, if it doesn't have this, if it's not waterproof, I'll look like a raccoon. And this is it. I'm finished. I'm ready to go.
Beautiful.
Go nowhere because
So I hope this was really helpful, you know, especially now that we have some time. Just the way we're doing this now, talking about it, going through whatever you already have, go through and just like practice. The best way to get used to doing your own makeup and being makeup ready is by actually doing it. Yeah. And seeing what works for you. And then go from there. So thank you so much, Keisha. You see, you did it. You did it in under an hour.
I know that's and I talk. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Now I don't have any excuse, right?
Exactly. And your face is always flawless. Whenever I see it, I always admire how you do and how you put everything together. It looks really, really good. And so hopefully that helped. All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Every Wednesday, live at 4. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Keisha.
You're welcome.
All right. Likewise. And then make sure to follow Keisha. God fashioned me. But thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.